Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do another talk through makeup tutorial, but I have pretty much all new products. I think the only things that I'm going to be using that you've definitely seen a few times before are my brow products, but everything else is stuff that I just bought really recently. So I'm going to keep the look a little bit simple, go with more so like an everyday kind of makeup look, and instead of keeping it more so on what I'm actually doing on my face, keep it a little bit more about the products and sort of review them a little bit as I'm using them. Most of these products I have used already a few times, but there are some products like my blush, for example, that are still sealed and I haven't even like swatched or touched at all. So yeah, with that said, let's just get started. So I'm actually going to use a primer today. I know I normally just kind of skip out on the primer, but why not? So I'm going to use this Mirabella primer that I actually received in, I think it was my BoxyCharm, right? Yeah, my BoxyCharm like a few months ago. And really just focus it around this area where I have a little bit more pore problems, I guess. So now I'm just going to go straight onto foundation. Typically I like to spot conceal with concealer before I apply my foundation, but lately I haven't been doing that, and I don't know if it's because my acne scars are like starting to lighten up or heal a little bit or what the deal is, but, or maybe, I don't know, this foundation just has really good coverage, but I don't know, I've just been kind of skipping that step lately. So the foundation that I'm using is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 24-Hour Foundation. I already did a review on this, so I will put the link to that down below. I also reviewed it on my blog, so I'll put the link to that post down below as well. The only thing that I have to say about this foundation, just as like, I guess a little pointer, is to work in sections because it dries and sets really quickly, and then once it does that, it can be a little bit difficult to blend out. So just apply it to one section of my face first, and then I like to buff it out with the Beauty Blender. And then if I do have any dark spots on my face that are still poking through a little bit, I just take a tiny bit more foundation on my finger and I just kind of tap it over those spots. Now moving on to my concealer. The one that I've been using lately is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light. I've heard so many things about this concealer, and a lot of people have been comparing it to the NARS Creamy Concealer. I haven't tried that one yet myself, so I can't really say how they compare, but so far I've really been liking this one a lot. So I'm just going to apply this under my eyes to kind of simultaneously cover my under eye circles and also just highlight and brighten my face. And I just love concealers that have like these kind of applicators because they're just so easy to apply. You don't have to get your fingers dirty or anything. It's great. So under the eyes, down the bridge of the nose, on my forehead, Cupid's bow, and chin. And then again, I'm going to blend that out with my Beauty Blender. So I'm going to move on to brows really quickly now, and I think I am just going to speed through that like I usually do because I do have a separate eyebrow routine video. So I'm just going to put the link to that down below if you're interested. Okay, so brows are done. Now, I guess let me set my concealer. So I went to Ulta and I also picked up the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. I know a lot of people talk about the Anastasia contour kit and the Kat Von D contour kit thing. And I wanted to try both of those, but I actually saw this in Ulta and I thought that I would try this out and see if this would be maybe a more affordable alternative. But it turns out that even this thing is $30, which is still pretty pricey, especially for NYX, which typically tends to be more so like drugstore priced. But the reason why I decided to get this, because I was kind of like, oh, well, this is only $10 less than the Anastasia one. Maybe I should get that. Maybe it'll be better quality. But I was holding them side by side and I just felt like the colors, first of all, you get more shades in the NYX one, and I also just felt like the shades in here were more usable for me, because there were a few shades in the Anastasia one that I just didn't see myself using or touching at all. So I thought that this would just be the better option for myself. And so far I've used every single shade in here and I really enjoy it so far. So if you're looking for a highlight and contour kit with a lot of usable options, I would suggest this one. So I'm just going to use this kind of yellowy like banana powder shade right here to kind of set my under eye area. I'm just going to set wherever I applied concealer. Now I am going to just bronze up my face. So I'm going to take this fluffy brush from e.l.f. and if you can see in this palette, these two contour shades are a little bit more on the warm side, and then these are more cool toned. So I like to use the warm ones just to bronze and warm up my face all over, and then if I do want to do a more defined contour, then I will use the cool tone shades. And I just kind of mix the two together. And then I like to just kind of bring it down onto my neck and chest a little bit, just so it kind of, you know, all blends together. Okay, so I'm going to move on to blush now. I've been wanting to try the Milani Baked blushes for a really long time now. So the shade that I got is Dulce Pink. So I'm going to apply this with my e.l.f. blush brush. I said it right this time. Just kind of apply that to my apples. And just bring it back a little bit. So pretty. Ugh. I just want to apply, like just keep applying more and more. I really love this. I love the color of it, and I love that it has some shimmer to it, because it just adds, do you see that? Like it just adds a highlight just on its own without even having to put highlight. But I probably will put more highlight because I'm crazy and I can't get enough highlight. Especially in the summertime with a nice tan. I just feel like you can't be too bronzy or highlighted. So I'm going to use this highlight shade. Just going to apply that right here. Ooh, yes. Damn, this in addition with the blush is like intense. I love it though, like I said, can never get too much highlight. I'm going to keep the eyes really simple, so I'm just going to use my Lorac Unzipped palette. I'm just going to use one shade in here. I'm just going to use this really light pink kind of color. It's called Undercover. You can use any kind of just light pink, cream color. I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. Oh, and I totally forgot to apply bronzer down the sides of my nose. So I'm just going to use this e.l.f. Flawless Conceal brush, and I'm going to use the same shade that I used to bronze up my face and just kind of run this down the sides of my nose. It's not really so much to like contour my nose or make it look slimmer. It's just, I feel like if I'm going to have bronzer like all over my face, it's weird to not have it on my nose as well. It's just to kind of, you know, have consistency. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that too and just apply it really lightly in my crease. Again, just to keep everything consistent. So I'm going to apply these lashes by Coco Lashes. These are called Misha. They're really pretty and wispy and long, but they're still on the natural side. I'm going to try to place these as close to the lash line as possible since I'm not wearing any eyeliner. I'm just going to apply my tried and true Rimmel Extra Super Lash just a little bit to the base of my lashes just to help kind of mend the falsies and my real lashes together, and then of course apply a little bit to my bottom lashes. So for the lips, I actually placed an order on ColourPop and I got several of these lippy sticks. I think I'm going to put the berry one. Let's see. See how that looks. So I did end up going with the berry color, obviously. This is called I Heart This. And again, it is by ColourPop. I'll put the link to it down below. I'll have a list of all the products that I used with links to where you can purchase them. So this is the finished look. Just super natural, like I said, just a nice everyday kind of springtime look with a lot of highlight. So that is it for this little tutorial slash product try on slash review, whatever you want to call it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you are wondering how I got my hair like this, I just realized I should check if I have lipstick on my teeth. I don't, so good. I have a tutorial from over a year ago of how I do this hairstyle, so I'll put the link to that down below as well. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Other change is I got tape-in hair extensions. This is actually my first time trying out tape-ins. I've been hearing a lot about them. They seem to be like the new